Welcome to the only series where I play Need for Speed and tell you increasingly obscure facts about the cars we're driving. And at the end, we give this car a grade. We're gonna trade in our beautiful car today and move on to the Mitsubishi Lancer. This is the ES model from 2003, and we're going to break down the information into 5 groups going from beginner all the way to expert knowledge, elite knowledge. But before we do that, I think we're going to have to give it a quick change and give it a new look. And I mean, look at this beauty. It's looking very different. We got lots of green accents. It's got a new hood. It's got a spoiler. We gave it some nice rims. I was interesting. The rim looks cool. I got to give it a new hood. So this car is ready to hit the streets. So let's start first level, race map. Okay, we got a few options, but drag race. Now let's do a quick sprint to get warmed up. And yeah, let's start with the level 1 beginner. So the Mitsubishi Lancer 2003, the ES version, is the 8th generation Lancer, which ran from 2003 all the way to 2005. This essentially replaced the Mirage, which continued as a smaller car globally, and this was based on the Mitsubishi Chedia, which was present in Japan. So the ES is actually the economy version, the economy model of this whole lineup. They had the LS, which I believe stands for luxury. They have the OZ Rally, which isn't that rally, and I'll explain why in a second. And then they have the Evo 8, which is the actual performance car. Why did I say that the Rally one is not an actual upgrade, really? Because realistically, there isn't much changing. They all had the same 2.0 liter engine. They're basically all the same car, essentially. The Evo is the only one that really gets an upgrade, and it kind of like doubles the amount of horsepower, more than doubles it actually. So that is the reason why those are not huge performance. So you might be thinking like, okay, well, there's a pretty big hole in the lineup, right? Like of the cars, all 3 cars basically have 0 upgrades, the same horsepower. And it's only the Evo 8 that has increased horsepower. And in fact, I believe in late 2003, they introduced a new model. Hold on as I do this. It's called the Rally Art, which was introduced at the end of 2003, and that essentially works as almost like a mid-level one. You know, it tries to give a little bit more high end. I think it's like 160 horsepower compared to this car that has. I cannot look away from the screen. I'm trying to win this race. All right, this car basically has 120 horsepower. The whole lineup has 120, except for the Evo, which is way more powerful. Interestingly, this car hits 120 horsepower at 5,500 RPMs, and it has 130 pounds of pounds per foot square of power of torque, which is at 4,200 RPMs. What does that mean? Essentially, it means that this car is supposed to feel very jumpy, very fast on acceleration. All right, race over. We ended last. Give me the quick retry. I was talking. So yeah. Basically, it's going to give this car a bit of a more jumpy feel, that lower torque, at least as I understand it. Anyway, this car, let's go back to some of the more basic specs. This car has a 2.0 liter inline 4-cylinder engine. Let me see if I can get the shortcut right here. Oh yeah, we got this. I saw that earlier. I wasn't sure if we could hit it. I don't know if we got a benefit. Yeah, that Golf just sprinted past us with the speed. The car came in a 5-gear manual, but 4-speed automatic. If you're interested in that, it is quite slow. The manual version goes from 0 to 60 or 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in about 9 seconds. The automatic one is much slower. It does that in 10.5 seconds, give or take. So it's it's not exactly a performance vehicle. That's why I figured we would get it out of the way at this stage. We have some upgrades in the car, which I think could allow us to be successful in all the races we do today. But overall, this car is not one that's going to result in a lot of performance or a lot of it's not going to give us an easy time. All right. Oh man, this is a little bit tough. We're still almost there. We're still behind. All right. Do we have a chance realistically? We might. There is an interesting section up here, which we could make up some time. All right, they kind of had a scuffle, which helps me because oh my god. Okay, perfect. We cut through here, and all right, this is our chance. This is our chance. Okay, all right. Do we have it? I think we might. Let's not fumble it at the end, but we might have this. All right, perfect. All right, and with that, let's move on to level 2 novice. So the car is 4.5 meters long by 1.5 meter wide. Thank you for the money. We have a new track. That's cool. We have level 2 decals. We'll see some in the next episode. No need to save. So it basically ends 1.4 meters tall. Essentially, this car is... All right, let's go. This should be it should be jumpy. Should we be doing well? But it's 10 inches long, 6 feet 5 inches wide. Basically, it's a bit longer of a car. It's not that heavy. 1,200 kilograms or 2,700 pounds. It's front wheel drive. All right, let's see. Oh, that's not an over rev. Come on, give me that. So as we said, the peak torque of this car is relatively on the low end of the low end of the gearbox, basically. Oh, we over revved. That sucks. Do we still have this? I don't know when the end is, so I'm kind of guessing that we're gonna make there. The screen shake is insane, my dude. So we must have a manual since we have 5 gears, and I imagine it's not going to be a 6th one. All right, we won. Perfect. So as you could see, the car, it feels somewhat agile. It's quick to hit that acceleration. Of course, this is modded in the game at this point, so we're starting to steer away from reality. But the acceleration is there. It might struggle with that. It might be good on that initial launch, the real life car, but it will struggle on those mid-high speeds after that launch. But it has a pretty long wheelbase, so the car does feel stable. It should not feel like it's gonna flip on you. Level 3 intermediate. So this car has 2 sets of suspensions. On the front, it has McPherson struts, which are just kind of standard. They're decent strut. They're on the cheaper end, but I mean they're cheap, but they're good. That's how I understand McPherson struts. So nothing to worry about there. The interesting part is the rear section. Oh, let's get a shortcut real quick. All right. I mean, the McPherson strut is in a Porsche 911, so if it's good enough for a Porsche 911, I always figured that it's good enough for the economy version of a Lancer lineup, really. But where it gets interesting, it's that this car has what is it called? Hold on. It has a multi-ring rear suspension, which is basically like a setup where there are multiple arms that kind of control the car. They kind of try to stabilize the car as much as possible. And the way they do it is that basically there's one car, one arm is based on focus on height, the other one on angle, the other one on I forget what I don't forget exactly what all the arms do, but the idea is that the wheel on the back rotates just enough, just so it has always the best angle where it gives the best traction to the floor. And for such a low level like a very cheap lineup car like this, like this is a generic one, I guess. Like this is kind of insane. I don't know if we touched upon this previously, but this car essentially came in and replaced the Mitsubishi Mirage. That car continued to exist in on the globally, but they replaced the US version with this one. Actually, I think it did say that. Uh, the brakes are a bit of an issue. The front brakes are fine. They are disc vented, so the disc is a decent kind of brake. It's like it cools off better. It's also vented, which increases cooling. That's fantastic. The rear ones are just drum brakes, so you might lose some stopping power or when you got the when you're going with the rear brakes. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Let's be honest. So once you brake, you gotta plan ahead for your braking. Did I feel any of that? Well, maybe now. Like the car was not braking as much as I would love to. One interesting thing is that this car has, I think, the smallest wheels we've seen to date with our cars. This is 14-inch wheels, so they have a lot of sidewall because they're tiny, which means they offer like a very good suspension. They're basically, it's like almost like a second suspension. It's not a second suspension, but it gives you a lot of like extra comfort when hitting bumps. On the other hand, the downside is that it feels a lot less responsive in a way. Like it will not be as reactive when driving. It feels a little bit more like it takes a little bit for the input to kind of transmit change it into a car. So that's something to keep in mind. All right, we finished this one. Let's go on to the level 4. And I think let's continue. Let's see what else do we have. No, let's not save. I believe we completed all 3 challenges that were in front of us, so maybe we're gonna have some sort of, yeah, we have a tournament. Perfect. It's gonna be a few races, I think, so let's get into it. And with this one, let's also start with level 4 advanced. So there were about 60,000 units of Lancers that were sold in the United States in 2003. The generation lasted 3 years. So I think overall, if you look at the whole lineup, hold on. Okay, perfect. Terrible start. But if we look at the whole lineup, basically 180K cars, give or take. But anyway, let's look only at 2003. Please don't hit me. Oh, this fucker. I knew he was going to be so shit. He was going to hit me. I knew it. So about 2/3 of the cars were the ES version, so the economy class. And this car, so there's about 4,000, oh my god, 4,000 models of this car that were sold in the United States in 2003. Of those cars, a good number of them actually survived into present day. I believe 8 to 10,000 are still supposed to be on the road in the United States, which to me is quite a pretty good number, honestly. I did not expect them to be that many after 23 years. That's pretty insane to me. All right. Okay. Yes. Perfect. This car had an MSRP that changed based on whether you got the manual or the automatic version. The manual one went for about $14,000. The automatic went for, oh my, ooh, okay. I took advantage of that car. Let's be honest. The automatic went for about 15K, so just $1,000 extra dollars. All right, let's dodge some stuff. Oh no, that he was about to fuck me up. I'm noticing that as we're going to later races, we're starting to see more traffic, especially on our shortcuts. We're starting to encounter some traffic, which is rough. Anyway, this is a steep break because I want to get the shortcut. Last time we did not get the shortcut, so let's keep it that way. Let's go. Oh, that was scary, but we actually took that very well. All right, and yeah, so you can still find this car today. I mean, about 8,000 are still on the road, 8 to 10,000, which is a good number. So what can you expect to pay for a manual? I believe they're quite cheap, maybe $2,000, give or take. for an automatic. Why did that guy stop? That's diabolical. For an automatic, you will find this car for about 3,000, 4,000. If it's really well kept, like I don't know, less than 100,000 miles, single owner, no accidents, you know, you could probably expect to pay 5,000. But again, still on the cheap end. This is not exactly the chase car. The real chase car of that generation was generally the Evo 8, which you can actually find for $55,000. So quite a bit more expensive. Wait, I thought I missed a shortcut, but thankfully we did not. Okay, perfect. That goes for like 55K. Like I saw it be a little bit cheaper in the past years. The price has gone up a fair bit. And one cool thing is that the Evo 8 will actually be covering eventually, because that is one of the cars that is present in Need for Speed Underground 2. So the next game that we'll play right after this one. So I'm kind of excited to cover that car and give it a little bit more of a more depth as we go. The rally art, a little bit. That 160 horsepower model does also get some attention, but not to the same degree that the Evo does, at least as far as I could tell. All right, let's go. Perfect. Oh no, he fucked me up so good. Damn, this is not even a knockout, so they're gonna catch up on me. Does this game even have rubber banding? They probably don't. We'll see. Anyway, while we're at this, let's go on to level 5 elite knowledge. Oh, you poor sucker. You have no idea what I'm about to do with the shortcut. He took a shortcut too? The fucking asshole. He learned. So, this car, as we said, has a Japan equivalent, which is called the Seria. That word, the Seria word, stands for Century Diamond. And the diamond is a reference to the Mitsubishi logo, that 3 diamond logo. You can kind of see it right now on the screen on the car. That's the diamond, Century Diamond, I guess, that they're referencing. So kind of interesting. Also, the American version was a bit underpowered compared to the Japanese one. I think it had like a 9.5 to 1. What is it, like a certain ratio that gives it more power to the car. I forget exactly which one. Maybe injection ratio was 9 to 1 on the American, but it goes all the way up to 11 to 1 on the Japanese version. Why did it do that? I don't know. What you'll find this car mostly for today, the Lancer ES, is really the spare parts. That's really what it's being used for. People, since it has a similar body style and structure as the Evo 8, people tend to be like, okay, I'll take this car and I'll take all the parts I need from it. So that's something to keep in mind. It's a little one thing that enthusiasts struggled with, which in upgrading this car, because you might think like, okay, similar bones to the Evo 8, can I make my Evo 8 at home? Unfortunately, this car does not have piston. Oh no, I didn't take neither a shortcut nor the long way. You know what, let's fucking go for the shortcut at this point. It's right here. Should I take a shortcut? We have 4 laps to catch up. We can do it. But basically, it doesn't have any piston squirters, and apparently that's the biggest obstacle to transforming this car into something that's a little bit more high performance. So yeah, that is going on. But there are a couple mods that you can do. For example, the fuel injector apparently has this honeycomb style thing right in front of it. It's not the fuel injector. It's the what do they call it? Hold on. As you can tell, I'm recording these at the same time. I'm recording at the same time that I'm doing the speaking part, which, you know, you might think maybe a voiceover is better, but I was having more fun playing the game and not just reading the script. So I think we have enough of a capacity to deal with it. I'm not going to lose too much, I think, but there's going to be small pauses or dumb takes. All right, good enough. Better than last time. Better than last time for sure. All right, Uh, airflow sensor. Yeah, the airflow sensor has a honeycomb grid which restricts the airflow. So what happens is that you can apparently remove that, which in turn means that more air goes through this airflow sensor, and it tells the engine to just give it more gas. So that gives you some horsepower. I don't really know how much it does, but apparently it's a thing. Also, apparently, like if you have an older model, you can give it a bit of a newer feel by taking away the slack on the acceleration pedal. Apparently, it supposedly gets longer with age. It kind of like stretches out, and if you take off the slack, it kind of gives it a bit of a newer feel. So something that some people do. Why don't you think this is a sedan, so you might not think there's a lot of space, and yet they decided to make the rear seats higher, taller, compared to the front seats. Apparently, it reduces it's called theater seats, and apparently it does reduce the sickness, the car sickness. What do you call it? Motion sickness. It reduces car sickness on people who are sitting in the back, so it tends to help that way. So that's nice, I guess. And yeah, I think that covers most of the stuff for this car. I'm gonna try see. Oh, one last thing. So this was one of the earlier cars, I guess, that started to introduce a transmission that essentially adapts to your driving style. So if it sees that you have a more aggressive driving style that's very frequently pushing the revs up, it will give you more revs. It will take longer to shift up, and it's gonna give you more time to keep your driving style. It doesn't really concern itself with the fuel. If you instead have a more relaxed driving style, it will take its time when going up gears and basically increase your fuel efficiency. So that's an interesting thing. I think this is common in basically any car these days, but maybe it was not as common back in 2003. So have I seen the fast acceleration in this car, the driving experience that I've been told from the stats here? Not really. We modified our car a little bit too hard, and I don't think I see much of that stuff, but I really like that despite being a base model, this is essentially as good as the higher end, not the Evo, but the higher end of the lineup. It was still good, you know. You still had like the whole car. The rear suspension is actually very good, as I understand it. So, what grade do we give this car? Well, we gave the Golf GTI a very low grade. It was the lowest of the lineup, but also I didn't feel that it had anything special. This one feels like it was given something special, so I don't want to reward that. I'm not gonna put it at the highest level, but I think it can take a B. I think it stays in B. I don't want to put it on the same level as a Golf with a seat. What is that guy doing just standing there? But I don't think it raises all the way up to A, just because it's a very basic car at the end of the day. But for what it is, for the price, for what it used to be and what it can be, I think it's like a solid B. Maybe B minus. Okay, we can give it a B minus. That's probably a fairer grade. But yeah, let me know what you think. What would you grade this car? Maybe you would rate it higher or lower. But that's basically all I have in terms of facts. But let's see if we can finish this tournament. Oh shit, I don't know what was going on there. Everything was closed off. Okay. But yeah, we only have this tournament left to play, so let's finish up. And next up, we're going to have some new cars. I think the Peugeot 207, 206 we have available. We have a Mazda Miata, the MX-5. And let's go on this side. The other side was a little bit chaotic. What else do we have? I think we have a Dodge Neon available. And we might even have a Ford Focus. So if you have any one of those four cars that you really would like to see, let me know. I can prioritize it, put it up the list basically. But I wanted to get this car, which was a little bit on the basic side. I think it kind of pales in comparison to the other four that I just mentioned that are coming up. I think cars are about to get much more interesting. So I just wanted to get this one out of the way. It's still an earlier episode, so I think it's like, oh my god, what's going on here? Am I in second place? I am in second place. Damn. It's not this car. That's kind of, nope, it's not this one. I think we might still be able to be ahead. I don't know. We might actually lose depending on who it's in front of us. This is a tough tournament. It's a bit tough. Oh my god, and yeah, I can feel the struggle on the high end. This car's top speed is supposed to be around 120 miles per hour, and yeah, even all the upgrades, this car is struggling to hit those numbers. But it's you know, that's why maybe a B minus is a better grade. So we're gonna give it a B minus. We're not really putting the plus and minuses on these cars. Oh no, this is gonna fuck me up if I don't win this. Let's go in this section. We gotta at least catch up to these fools. Give them a hard time if we can. Yeah, on the high end speed, this car struggles insanely. So I hope that it's gonna, the next cars being more interesting cars are gonna give us an easier time. Oh my god, that guy is like destroying the truck. Yeah, this car really shines on the acceleration. That early to mid acceleration, it really like goes crazy, but later on it tends to struggle. I feel like the outer section is longer somehow. I don't know why, but we had like two pillar sections with the other line, and this one it was way shorter. Is that my impression? Maybe it's longer, but I feel like it, without having to dodge the pillars, it doesn't feel as long. Alright, so if I surpass this purple car, I think I'll be fine. And I should be able to win the tournament. So I just gotta finish in front of it, which is doable. Not easy though. Alright. Oh, that was a little bit of a side swipe right there. But we're in second place, which is the good thing. Let's see. As long as we avoid a major accident, we should be fine. At least we should be capable of keeping our position, which is the important part. I don't know if we're going to reach out to the one in front. It's right there. Oh, fuck. This basically counts as a major accident. Because, man, this is going to suck. Oh, man. At least it's not the purple one. So this gives me hope. The purple one, I don't know if it's a Golf GTI or something. That, I think, is the only car that finished before us last race. I don't know. I was focusing a little bit too much on reading the facts for you guys, so I don't super have the ability to keep up on what's going on in the video game at all times. Maybe I could lock in a little bit better, but why would we? Why would we lock in when we have good mods and fast cars? Let's see what the points are at the end of this. Let's see what the points are. Let's see. Ooh, my hopes are a little bit low. Total points for us, 20 points. We're in first. Did we win? We won the money. We have unlocked performance upgrades and kits and suspension and NOS and more tracks, and okay, we've done it. We have done it. Let's fucking go. We might even get a cutscene now or later. We're gonna get it later. Yeah, once we start that one. So let's leave that for next episode. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. And let me know what you'd like to see. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.